Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Voice of Reason with Nathan. In today's episode, as always, it's about knowing the Lord and making Him known. However, I really wanted to touch on this idea about how to survive being at home. A lot of us are in isolation. A lot of us are, having to work from home, having to spend full time with the kids at home. And I wanted to give us some practical tools and things that you can do, probably things that a lot of you are already doing and maybe not. So I just thought, I'm going to put something out there to help you in a practical way. And my wife, I must, commend her 100%. She gave me like almost all of these points. So I've written them all down. Wise woman right there, Proverbs 31, very grateful. But she's doing a lot of this stuff for herself with our kids at home. And I'm utilizing it as well in my daily life too. So starting off, number one, how to survive at home. Number one, adjust your expectations. That's so important. This is a bit of a psychological tool that you can actually use in every area of your life when you're needing to be flexible. You're needing to have an open mind in this situation. This isn't going to last forever. This isn't going to be now, forever and a day that you're going to have to just continue to work from home. You're never going back to, this will blow over at some point. And we might be in for a bit of a long haul for sure, and it's already been significantly, disruptive to our normal way of life, our normal daily activities. But number one is just having that open mindset and realizing that you're not the only one that's going through this. This is a shared experience of suffering. Everyone is going through this in one way or another, and your situation is not unique. We're all going through this in one way or another. When I do get clients coming to me and they're saying, I'm the only one that's going through this, or look how bad my situation is. It's like, yeah, sure, but you're not the only person that's going through this. Your suffering is not unique to you. And in fact, that can be really empowering when someone realizes like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the center of the universe. And actually, this is a shared experience that everyone's going through, and that can actually provide a lot of empowerment, a lot of comfort, realizing that, and help them to move through that negative mindset that's just got them focused on themselves and me. That's number one. Number two, reach out for support. So don't get the wrong impression. If you are struggling, if you are finding it really difficult, reach out for support. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are struggling now mentally and emotionally and in other areas, and it's important for you to reach out for support where you can. Obviously, the government has put in a lot of financial benefits and incentives and things to help people, Centrelink and so on. Obviously, there's a lot of issues with that at the moment as well, just the overload that's going on. So be patient, obviously, but do what you can in terms of reaching out for that support if you need it. Number two, church. Your local church, your church family, your community, they can come around you at this time and support you. Maybe not, literally physically, but through phone calls, through Skype, through, different things that they can support you, maybe even with food, clothing, whatever it might be that you need, utensils. If your hair dryer blows up and you need a hair dryer, I don't know, like stuff that, you can join with your community and still have that sense of being supported, and you can support them as well and being part of that. And your friends and family, of course, just because you can't see them physically doesn't mean you can't talk to them, doesn't mean you can't Skype with them, doesn't mean you can't still have contact with people. It's just different. And so again, adjusting your expectations of what that will look like, you can still do what you normally would do, but just in a different way. Number three, careful what you are focused on. Careful what you're focused on. Your life will go the way of your dominant thinking. So if you're thinking a certain way, most of the time, that's where you're headed. You can't do what you're not focused or thinking about, right? So it's important what you're focused on, what you're feeding yourself mentally, emotionally, and even physically. That's really what's going to be the outcome of your life in this situation. So if you're watching social media all the time, all day, you've just got the news coming in, you're going to think the world is literally coming to an end. This is the end of days. No one's going to survive this. it's going to be the worst case scenario. And that's what the media does. They love to get stories. They love to promote fear. They love to present the worst case scenarios, because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets views. That's what gets people interested in the stories. So just be careful about doing that, obviously. And if you're just watching Netflix all day, every day, your soul, you're not going to have a healthy soul after this situation. So you got to, really adjust your expectations and shift what you're focused on, and allow yourself to maybe do things that you previously would have loved to do when you were like busier, when you were having to go into work, and now you've got a bit more time in your hands maybe, and you're able to perhaps, read the book that you wanted to read, write the book that you wanted to write, do the podcast, do this, do that, write that music, learn that instrument, whatever it might be, that, now you've got some more time. Like, pick up those hobbies and those interests, do the things that previously you would have loved to do, or you thought you would have, and now you've got the opportunity to do it. Again, this will blow over, this will pass, and life will return to a semblance of normality, but it might be another 3 months, it might be another 6 months, 12 months, whatever it might be. We need to have an open mind to be able to roll with the punches, be able to make the most out of this situation, and having that, having that care about what you're focused on will enable you to do that. Number 4, set goals. So in your spirit, your soul, and your body, it's important to set goals and be able to achieve things on a daily basis, even if they're small things. Not eating that extra Malteser, not doing this, not doing that, having a healthy diet, a regular routine, structuring your day so that you can get the most out of it. I know my wife, with the 2 kids at home, they're quite young, they are very young, so she's structured the day with different activities. And we can still go for a walk outside. So she'll do that with them. She'll structure the day around that. The different routines that she's got with the kids. She'll go upstairs and play an activity up there. Then she'll bring them downstairs and do another activity there. Set up different playstations around the house. Not literally the PlayStation, but what I mean, playstations. And so different activities and things that she'll do. And that's incredible. That's just so simple, but so profound as well. And little things like that can really change the setting, change the scenario, and it keeps it interesting for the kids. Now, if your kids are a bit older, that's going to be different again. But the point is that you can actually set goals in the routine, set goals in how you want to come out of this situation. Spiritually, what do you want to get out of this? Like, what are your goals right now? Are you trying to spend more time reading a particular book in the Bible? Are you trying to grow in your prayer relationship with God? What are your goals? Write them down and write out steps on how you can achieve that. And even with your soul, how can you connect with people on a soul level, in a relational way? How can you connect with people better through this situation? Like I said, you might have more time in your hands to write that handwritten letter to someone that you care about. You might have more time in your hands to communicate with someone, to connect on that level, over the phone. It's still ways of connecting. There's still ways that you can achieve things, and setting goals in those spirit, soul, and body areas is powerful. And I would say, especially in the body, your diet is so important at this time. Don't just binge on whatever at home. Obviously binge on unhealthy snacks and treats and different things that you have access to. Try to keep as much routine and structure to your life as possible, and that's going to be really helpful in your levels of anxiety, because that will start to escalate when you have less normality and that structure and that organization to your life that is going to be more challenging. So the more structure and the more you keep that level of normality, especially physiologically, in what you eat, your sleep routines, in your exercise, it's going to be really helpful for you. Number 5, don't be a victim. Don't focus on the can't do. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do. Stop that nonsense and focus on what you can do. Focus on what you can do right now. Don't be a victim. Be a victor. Focus on the can do and have that attitude. It's going to be profoundly important that you'll come out of this situation a better person. It's not just about, oh, I can't go to the gym. Well, what can you do? Can you work out at home? Can you do any exercises apart from, weight training? Can you do anything that's better than nothing? Or write down questions on an issue, on a problem that you have. Actually write it out instead of just stewing on it in your head again and again and not getting anywhere and just whinging about it and just complaining. Why don't you get problem focused? Solution focused on the problem. Why don't you brainstorm ideas? So write down the issue that you're having. So I can't go to the gym. All right, so what might be some solutions to that? Or, I can't see my friends. Okay, what are some solutions to that? I can't, go get a haircut. Okay, well, what are some solutions to that? And look, a lot of us are already doing this anyway, but it might be those tricky things that you're stewing on, that you're, rotating around in your head again and again, that's really frustrating you and getting to you. Write out solutions for them, and be able to brainstorm. And you might need some help to do that, so talk to a friend about it. Again, don't just whinge and complain all the time. Actually try to figure out a solution and be solution focused in that. It's going to empower you to overcome that and enjoy your life, enjoy your days. This is different, absolutely. It's not the end of the world, literally, but you can actually become better out of this situation and learn from this experience. Be open-minded to all of what's going on and be able to learn from it. And the final point I wanted to make was number 6. Look out for others' needs. You are not the center of the universe. The point I made earlier, the world does not revolve around you. When you hold your hand up to a light bulb, the world does not spin around you. You need to spin that light bulb and take that off, right? In the same way, look out for others' needs. How can you help someone else? Who can you help? And how can you help them? Simple questions. Who can you help around you? It might be an elderly neighbor that is in self-isolation. Maybe you can go and buy their groceries for them, or maybe you can go and get some extra little things and leave them at the front door for them. And then just knock on the door, let them know that you've done that, leave a little note, and just little things like that can make a huge difference. Who can you help and how can you help them? Maybe it's about, donating some money to a charity right now that's helping people that are struggling. Maybe it's, I don't know, and maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's doing something for them. Maybe it's for your colleagues at work if you're still going into the office. It's all sorts of different things that you can look out for other people's needs and try to meet them and try to be that person that loves people in this situation. And that's going to help you as well, take you out of your own head, stop being self-centered and, it's all about me, and actually about other people during this time. And that will do a massive amount for yourself and for your sanity and for your well-being as well, looking after others. And I mean, even like say with working at home, you might be like, oh, I have to work at home. Well, think like maybe a month ago, you would have only dreamed to have been able to work from home and not have to catch the train or not have to go through the morning commute, the traffic on the road. And now, you've got the opportunity to be at home and people are complaining about that. There's people that complain about absolutely everything. The weather's too hot, or in winter, the weather's too cold. It's not hot enough, and it's just like, that mindset is what's killing you at this time. That mindset is what's driving your frustration. It's not the situation itself, it's the way you're reacting and responding to it. And you can choose to stop that and start to be victorious in this situation. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying like this is awesome. I'm saying that you can actually take this situation and learn from it and become a better person through it. So I hope that's helped you. Those 6 points again: adjust your expectations, reach out for support, be careful what you're focused on, set goals in your spirit, soul, and body, don't be a victim, and finally, look out for others' needs. Who can you help and how can you help them? I pray that this has blessed you, and go in peace, guys, and let me know what you think. Bless you.